is very important. This is a story that economics never tells you, because economics as a discipline is deeply ahistorical, purposefully to make you think that this is a natural, spontaneous order. The reality is that if you look at history, our economic system was born through violence. And what was this violence? It was the exclusion of people from the land. The land was the basic means of subsistence in which people could reproduce themselves autonomously from respect to the market. Once you eliminate the self-sufficiency, then people become market dependent and thus, in a way, necessarily have to accept going to work for whatever situation they can find.
Here, Professor Matai is focused on the British enclosure, where some common land was privatized over a period of 600 years in Britain, though often the focus is on the 18th century. It's hard to cover much in short form, but I want to focus here on the general critique of capitalism as unnatural compared to communal ownership, because I think it really misses the mark. But first, here in the US, land has been privatized from the start of European colonization. But this did not mean an end to farming and forcing people to go work for corporations. In fact, most Americans were working on the land up through the 20th century. And stories like those famously told by Laura Ingalls Wilder show the self-sufficiency of farms out west and the difficulty and instability of life on the land. Many who purchased items from the cities and would eventually move there did so to live a better and more comfortable life, not due to force or violence. Did Europeans invent property rights? Well, prior to European colonization, it's not like land was held universally and peacefully by all, as intense tribal warfare shows. While broken treaties and deceptive promises leave a scar on colonial history, when colonists did enforce property rights, they saw ownership of land happen when one made improvements to it. For instance, Enlightenment thinker John Locke held that mixing your labor with natural resources, such as building or planting, turned the land from held universally to private. And once property rights were established, they could be defended. If you tried to commandeer the house that I built, I'm justified in defending my family's right to use it. After all, every people group in history has sought to defend land they believe to be theirs, whether communally or individually held. Contra Matai, the process of building and planting on land is natural. The idea that a building you've spent time and effort making belongs to all mankind equally and not to you is, at best, not a good idea and leads only to slow progress and innovation. And it's no surprise that private property rights have led to increased innovation and output. Today, we need much less land to produce more crops because people were incentivized to put efforts into discovering new ways of production. Today, life is not the most comfortable and people are not flocking to areas with communal land ownership, like sub-Saharan Africa or rural Central America. That's not where health or abundance lie. And of course, Professor Matai has no interest in going there either. On the flip side, when it comes to violence, every day a few thousand people coming to the US to seek asylum speak volumes of where they deem it to be safer.